Charles Oliveira promised his 7-month-old son that he's going to bring the championship back home for him. You've already done it for your daughter. Is this the motivation you need to win the title?
Vai acontecer em nome de Jesus. Pronto pra essa história, eu tô pronto pra se tornar aí.
It's going to happen in the name of Jesus. I'm ready for this story. I'm ready to make history. Write this down. I'm going to be a champion again.
Do you feel bad that you're going to make him break his promise to his son?
That's why I don't like to promise to my kids those kind of things. He don't have to involve his kids in the professional things. He's gonna have to break his heart.
Ilia's coming in very confident. He's doing interviews with 3 belts. He's saying that your style is easy for him to get a first-round KO. Are you confident that it's going to be a first-round finish?
I'm very, very confident.
Do you think he's coming into this fight too overconfident?
I know he's coming in undefeated. He's coming in with that aura, with that vibe. He is a great fighter, but he's never fought a fighter like me. On the 28th, I'm going to be a champion.
What is it about his style that you think you're going to knock him out?
Because the time that takes me to knock out my opponents is the time that I need to close the distance. So with him, I'm not going to need to do that because he walks forward. He's going to stay in the middle of the octagon, and that's why I think that I'm going to be able to combine my punches and to put him to sleep. I'm going to finish him in the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Essa é a diferença. Dia 28 vocês vão ver quem é quem.
I had that confidence once, but I didn't have a loss. But then you face somebody that's not going to walk backwards. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to walk forward. I'm the problem with this division.
Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira.
Topuria.
Charles is bigger. Charles has kicks, knees, elbows, great jiu-jitsu. But Ilia is just different, brother. This guy is special. And I think he's going to be a world champion at 155. He's going to beat Charles now.
The stage is set for UFC 317, a monumental event capped by a battle for the vacant lightweight throne between Ilia El Matador Topuria and Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. As the final countdown begins, the war of words has reached a fever pitch. Charles Oliveira is fighting with a heartfelt promise on his shoulders, one made to his young son to bring the championship home once again. This fight is deeply personal for the former champion. Ilia Topuria believes that once Oliveira feels his speed and power, he'll resort to takedowns and ground game, but Topuria is convinced it won't matter. He anticipates meeting Oliveira in the center of the octagon and finishing the fight there, asserting his dominance.
I think it's going to be more striking fights. Since the first second he's going to feel the speed and the power, he's going to start to look for the takedowns and for the ground game. But I think that it's going to be very, very quick because I'm going to finish him in the first 2 or 3 minutes. Because as I told you, as I mentioned, I'm not gonna need to close the distance with him. We're gonna find each other since the first second. So when that happens, I'm too much for my opponents. I'm too good for them.
In contrast, Charles Oliveira has made it clear he has no intention of backing down. He plans to meet Ilia Topuria's aggression with his own, vowing to constantly push forward and refuse to take a single step back. Calling himself the true problem in the lightweight division, Oliveira described his mentality as that of a lion, promising that he will not be intimidated by Topuria's pressure. He acknowledges Topuria's confidence, but believes his own experience will be the deciding factor.
I had that confidence once, but I didn't have a loss. But then you face somebody that's not going to walk backwards. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to walk forward. I'm the problem with this division. I am a lion, and I'm not going to back down. You're going to see this on Saturday, on 28th. I'm going to go for it.
Ilia Topuria has scoffed at any suggestion that Charles Oliveira possesses superior punching power, dismissing the idea as very, very wishful thinking. His confidence is so high that he issued a challenge to Oliveira, stating they could compete in any single discipline, be it boxing, grappling, or wrestling, and he would emerge victorious every time. For Topuria, this isn't just pre-fight hype, it's a declaration of his belief in his all-around dominance.
He said, we're 2 guys who walk forward and are going to collide anyways, whether it's on the ground or on the feet, and I really believe in the firepower I have in my hands. Now, if he is saying that against a guy that knocked out Max Holloway the way you did, do you think that's a mistake?
That's a very, very wishful thinking, Kevin. That he thinks that he has more like powerful punch than me. That's a very wishful thinking. I challenge him. Like we can do only separate like a boxing match, a grappling match, a wrestling match. Everywhere I beat him. Everywhere. However I want. This is how confident I feel.
Sure.
While confident in his power, Ilia Topuria did acknowledge Charles Oliveira's legendary toughness. He recognized that Oliveira has survived and recovered from being hurt against elite strikers like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and Michael Chandler. However, Topuria issued a stark warning, claiming that this time will be different. He stated that if he connects with a clean shot, Oliveira will not be given any chance to recover. In his mind, the power he possesses is on a completely different level from Oliveira's previous opponents.
You look at Charles's most famous fights, right? Dustin, Gaethje, the two Charles. You look and think, man, if I hurt him, I still have to be very, very careful because he always comes back and wins.
If I hurt him, he's not gonna have the chance to come back. Because my power is completely different than the other guys you mentioned before.
Charles Oliveira firmly believes his victory at UFC 317 is pre-written. While he feels Topuria has not shown him the proper respect in the lead-up to the fight, he is not letting it affect him. Oliveira's sole focus is on securing the win, whether it comes by knockout, submission, or a 5-round decision. For him, the outcome is already determined, and this fight is simply the next step in cementing his legacy as one of the all-time greats.
Do you feel like he's given you that same respect in the lead up to this fight?
No, definitely not. He didn't treat with the same respect. Man, I don't know. He's been saying a lot, but the fact of the matter is we're going to find out on June 28th. Everyone knows who the real champion is.
You talk a lot about legacy. You mentioned it multiple times. What is the best way to win this fight for your legacy? Is it to knock out Ilia? Is it to submit him? Is it to dominate him for 5 rounds? What is going to be the best result for Charles Oliveira's legacy?
I just want to win. You know, that it's meant to be. It's already written.
Ilia Topuria recently opened up about his move to lightweight, explaining how taxing the cut to featherweight had become. He described the process as both mentally and physically exhausting, especially during the final days of preparation. In fact, Topuria revealed that he had already decided to move up to 155 pounds even before his fight with Max Holloway, having informed his family and team that it would be his last bout in the featherweight division.
When you knocked out Max Holloway in October, did you believe that night you were already done with the weight class?
Even before the fight, I was sure that I would leave the division. I already spoke to my family, to my team, and I told to everyone, like, this is the last fight, this is the last weight cut I'm doing. So after this one, we are going to the lightweight division.
Was this last weight cut, was it particularly challenging compared to others, or was it kind of in line with more recent ones?
Always when you have that last miles to run, you are getting like more exhausted, more tired, and that was happening to me in the last weight cut. I knew that it was the last weight cut, so I suffered a lot, but anyways.
According to Topuria, lightweight is his natural home. He no longer has to endure the draining weight cuts, and for the first time, he feels he is at 100%, both physically and mentally. In the past, the process involved immense suffering, but now he has been able to enjoy his training camp fully. Topuria acknowledges that the fighters at lightweight are bigger, but he feels he is stronger and more powerful as well, believing this is the division where he truly belongs.
I feel at my 100% because in the past I always had to cut the weight, I always had to suffer mentally, physically, and this time, as I told you, I have been able to enjoy the whole process. I feel at my 100%. My power is at point, my stamina is at point, everything is at point, so I feel very, very powerful at this weight class. Of course the guys are bigger, but I'm bigger also, and I have more power. Everything I have, it's more in this weight class. Actually, I belong to this weight class naturally.
The fight's backup, Arman Tsarukyan, has also found himself in Topuria's crosshairs. Topuria criticized Tsarukyan's decision to serve as the backup fighter, calling it a mistake and claiming Arman would have no chances against him. He boldly predicted a finish within the first minute of the fight and dismissed any threat from Tsarukyan's wrestling.
Backup fighter for this one is going to be Artem Tsarukyan, right? Or Arman.
That's a bad decision for him. I don't know why he accepted, because you can't come here as a backup fighter. I don't know how long did he train for this fight, but if something happens to anyone, even to me, I think that there's no possibility that something could happen with me. But who knows? No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Even with Charles, he would struggle a lot, and with me, there's like, he has no chances. Like first round, first minutes of the fight, what he's gonna do? Go for the takedowns.
Arman Tsarukyan did not take the comments lightly, firing back with a pointed message for Topuria. He warned the featherweight champion to pray that nothing happens to Charles Oliveira, declaring himself the worst possible matchup for Topuria in the entire lightweight division. Tsarukyan also highlighted that there's a reason Topuria is fighting someone he has already defeated, not him for the title, implying he is the true top contender. Ilia Topuria has made it clear he doesn't think Arman Tsarukyan deserves an immediate title shot. He reminded everyone that Tsarukyan already had his opportunity to fight for a title eliminator but pulled out. According to Topuria, Tsarukyan now needs to earn his spot back in the conversation by securing another significant win against a top contender like Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett.
There's a lot of guys, but one to think of maybe a guy like Arman Tsarukyan. I know we'll focus on Charles Oliveira, and maybe see a guy like him as a future opponent, maybe the next one for Charles.
Arman, he needs to win also a fight. He had his opportunity to fight for the title. He pulled out for, I don't know for what reasons. So he needs to put his name again in the conversation.
Do you think he should be next in line after this fight? Because obviously he must be stepping in probably to get back in the UFC's good graces after what happened earlier this year.
I wouldn't give him the chance immediately. He needs to win one more fight. He had the opportunity to fight for the title. He pulled out. I don't know for what reasons, but he pulled out. So he needs to win his shots again against, I don't know, someone. There's Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, many guys in the division that also deserve the shot. So they need to fight between each other.
As the final countdown to UFC 317 begins, both Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira are ready to prove their point and claim the lightweight throne. Whether it ends in a stunning first-round finish or becomes an all-out war, this fight is guaranteed to deliver fireworks and dramatically shape the future of the division. Who is your pick to win? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for our full post-fight breakdown.